Of the podcast, everyone in this VC right now has had a negative PCR test for COVID, so fuck off and die. Who are you?
I'm Josh.
Interesting.
Josh Turner, also known as Josh O.
No one cares. Who are you, Jack?
Fuck. Good start.
You fucking dickheads. My name's Dave.
Yep, Dave.
My name is Jeff.
It's Dave.
My name is Carmen Winstead.
All right, so we got
Hi, my
Ben,
name is
Josh,
Carmen Winstead.
Jeff and Dave.
Carmen Winstead.
You got Carmen Winstead, also known as Ali, in the top left of your screens. I'm a little bit slow. Can't
Had to
say
think
that.
about
A
that
li-
for a minute,
You always
eh?
are. You always have been.
But
Wow.
yeah.
Getting called out at the beginning of the podcast. Nice.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I deserve it, mate. Honestly, it's my own fault. We're here. It's been uploaded on a channel where it was just me and Jack. Now we've got two other people. Don't know how. But... Yeah, man.
Fucking awesome, bro.
Lovely stuff.
I don't know. Jack kind of looks like a cloud right now.
Yeah, he's got a crippling addiction to vape. Unfortunately, it's not his own fault.
Better than
bless him.
smoking.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. So, yeah, man. This is getting uploaded on a channel where there was. Depends on what day you actually clicked on the channel, but we're gonna say there was 4 episodes.
Yes, there were. There were only ever 4.
That was on the channel. They're still here, but I'm gonna make it very clear that this is.
They may go private.
Yeah, this is a This not fuck.
This is not a continuation of those.
Not
We're-
a continuation of the previous.
No way. Nuh-uh. We're new. Not reformed. I wouldn't say. But
We're
yeah.
never reformed.
If you can see, I promise I'll stop waffling and I'll let you all talk. But on the bottom of the screen here, there's everyone's name who's currently in this episode at the moment, and they're one of their chosen social medias. If you want to go and stalk them, you can do. So yeah, what's the situation? I believe you got some topics, Josh.
Oh, bro,
for
I've
us
got
to talk
topics for
about.
days.
I believe you got
All
some
right, so what do you guys
topics,
want to
man.
start with? So
You pick. It's your topic.
Okay. Here, let's start with this. All right. What's the one thing someone has done for done for you? Sorry, and that you'll never forget?
That's a hard one.
Hang on,
That
this
really is.
this can be taken.
Yeah.
That
in
that
which
insinuates
context?
that we're
Yeah.
that insinuates
grateful?
that we're
Like?
No, I
Can
don't
I
think it.
No.
angle it?
No, I don't think you can.
You got stage fright.
All right.
Yeah.
This could no. The thing is with this is very subjective because
Mhm.
is this in a nice way? I can tell you plenty of bad things, but I'm not gonna.
No, it could be either.
Daddy's mom.
This
Why not
insinuates
do
that we have a
1-on-1?
social life. That's what I was
That
going to
is
say.
true.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I mean, there's 4 people in this fucking chat right now. There's some form of social life, okay? But
There is.
it could be we can do both ends of the spectrum if you wanted. What's one horrible thing that someone's done to you that you'll never forget? And what's one good thing that someone's done to you that you'll never forget?
Don't have any.
The horrible one is one that I'm not gonna mention.
Okay, that's completely cool.
But I don't think I have had a good. Go next one. I'll think a good one.
Let's see if either of these two can think of anything. If not, that's a flop, and we'll just move on.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well,
One thing that popped in my head is I was extremely bullied in middle school, and when I lost all of my friends at the last grade, like the last year of middle school, and so when I went to high school, I wasn't gonna have any friends whatsoever. But this random girl that the way our high school works there is it's 2 middle schools that like merge together. And this girl was at the other middle school, so I had never actually hung out with her. She reached out to me because she had heard that me and said person were no longer friends and wanted to hear like the other side of the story behind it, and I told her the story behind it. And she like made sure that we were going to be friends in high school and that I could totally hang out with her and all of her friends. And so when I started high school, instead of being in the huge fear of being alone, she like introduced me to all her groups of friends, and then I was good for the rest of high school.
So I'm
Oh,
gonna,
yeah,
I'm
that
gonna,
was really nice.
I'm gonna guess it's one of the good things that's happened to you.
Yes.
Okay, that's fucking cool. That.
It was
Um,
so nice. Like there was no reason that it was totally random that she reached out to me, and she didn't
Mm.
have to do anything like that at all. And because of her, I wasn't alone. And yeah, I just like
Hell
super
yeah.
appreciated it.
No, that's dope.
I expect
So
that's.
while
Go on.
while coming up with this topic, a few things came to my mind. There was one that happened a little more recently, within the last year. An old friend of mine, we reconnected. He hit me up and he's like, "Hey, my fiance makes these picture frames," and I guess I should do a little bit of a backstory here. During the pandemic, I was unemployed through most of it. It's not from a lack of trying; it's just no employers were really hiring. Um, so yeah, I was unemployed for a good chunk of it. So my friend hits me up and he's like, "Hey, my fiance is making these picture frames. Would you be interested in it?" It's like, uh, basically what it would be is like me and the wife would get a picture and it'd have our names in Scrabble pieces and then like something cute underneath it and shit like that. Nothing over the top, but for $50, it's a cute little picture frame. So I'm like, yeah, sure. So me, the wife, and the kid and our dog went and got pictures done, and then we sent it to them and they did the frame up. As we were going there to pick up the frame, excuse me, he hits me up and he's like, "Hey, are you working right now?" And I'm like, "Nah." And he's like, "Would you like a job?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I sent him my resume, and within literally 48 hours, I was hired. So
That's
that helped
sick.
me in that sense. But the one thing that keeps coming back to me, and I think it goes without saying, is the day the wife said yes to marrying me.
Oh, you fucking soppy fuck.
No, but it's true though, because
Okay,
I don't
yeah.
think you understand this. Okay, so our relationship was kind of on a whim,
Mm.
right? Like there were certain things that happened that weren't very good for one end of her on her end or my end. Sorry, but then there were things that were really good, and we just considering that this is my first ever long-term relationship. Before being with my wife, I haven't been in a relationship with someone for longer than a month. The day that she's like, "Yeah, I guess I'll put a ring on my finger and fucking bear your last name if I have to," it was actually a pretty okay day, you know.
Only if she has to.
Well, I mean, she
I mean,
said
fuck no,
yes,
I wouldn't.
therefore she has to. So, but
Yeah,
like, yeah.
is there anything that's bad that's
Oh,
happened to you that you'll never forget that you're comfortable with telling?
Before he says that, Jack,
Oh yeah, shit, yeah, Jack.
What?
I forgot you was here. You fucking.
Thank. I love you too. Good. No.
yeah. Let's start with
yeah,
good.
do good. Let's all do good,
Aw.
and then we'll all do bad. While he thinks of any, do you have anything?
I mean, something good that happened was I guess that like.
Meeting me. Sorry.
Besides that,
No, it's definitely meeting me, bro.
No, come on.
100%.
Hey, fuck you.
I don't want to talk much about like the. I guess it's a good thing now, but like me gaining contact with my father again. I guess that's a good thing. I think.
Oh
I
yeah,
hope.
Are
But
you sure
great.
about that?
But yeah, man. You know, you live and you learn, don't you? You know, happens. He's got his reasons. I've got mine.
No, yeah.
Bad. I know what Jack thinks I'm probably gonna say, but if I honestly, it was.
I could know two things.
It was an online experience, but I'm not gonna go any more into that.
Is
Oh
it
no!
Partner?
Action, no. And
Oh.
there's another good
Is
thing
it the
that's
other one that I'm thinking?
probably there's another good thing that happened on online to me this past week. Right now, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Right, we were just on Omegle. I was on Omegle. Right.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, bro, I was on Omegle just for shits and giggles.
It wasn't even Omegle. It was
It was Omi TV.
Omi TV.
Yeah.
I was on this Omi TV, which is like Omegle's, I don't know,
Side,
rip off.
side
Yeah.
whore.
Yeah.
Side whore, side hoe.
And we were just there trolling, and I met like this really cool dude who was from America, and we got talking about like
He was Detroit, wasn't
he was in Detroit, yeah, and he got
Yeah.
initiated into a gang at a young age, and we literally just sat there talking about everything, about how like different the people here in the VC was there when it happened.
he? Yeah.
I was sharing my screen.
I wasn't. If I missed that.
It was really really good. We after like an hour, must be an hour with
He
Sun.
talked with the guy for
Nah.
at least an hour and a
Yeah.
half.
Yeah, at least
So-
an hour and a half minimum.
Literally everything. Like because I'm in the UK, if you couldn't tell.
No, couldn't at all.
It's very different, like their gang culture to ours. I'm not in a gang, by the way, unless it's the Limpan gang, then I'm there. But like it was just crazy noticing like the difference of of like cultures, I guess. Like the main thing over there was guns. Obviously, we don't have guns here. Well, we do. Obviously, every country has guns in some form or fashion. But it's
not as
yeah,
prevalent there.
it's not as like you
Ease
can't
of
go.
access.
You can't go to your
Widely
convenience.
accepted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't go to your convenience store and buy one. And over there he did, and he said like that's a very valid fear that he has. Really, really good thing that happened to me, considering I went on there just to fucking laugh at people. Must admit, just to laugh at
You
people.
had like a genuine
Mostly penises,
deep
but-
conversation.
As well. I wasn't looking for penis, may I add. It was just
Well,
on those
It's
websites.
was like
just a
to
happy
differ.
coincidence.
Oh,
I would like
yeah.
I don't know. I've
I would
literally
like-
heard you go on that website and go, alright, let's go for some dicks.
yeah, that's true.
But those websites. Okay, I'm getting off a tangent, but those websites scare me a lot
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
100%.
because you have no idea who is on the other side of the screen.
Yeah.
Mhm. So I do have a question. Oh, that's
Yes.
dope. Going back to this topic. When we're going to the negative act, is it one singular act, or could it be the same act repeated over a period of time?
I mean, if it's affected you, it's affected you, innit? You know what I mean? It's one
Yeah.
of
Well,
them.
yeah, because like there's the obvious one where I spent most of my childhood getting beaten every day.
Well, that's true.
Well, that's the
Right?
one of them. Yeah.
So there's that, or if there no, that's something that's happened. It's over and done with. It is what it is. If you're a victim of that kind of thing, you need to seek an adult or find someone to talk to because that
Yeah.
isn't right. You shouldn't have to deal with that shit. But now if we're talking specific individual things that one person has done to you one time that you'll never forget.
It should probably be that.
So then, okay, perfect. I got it. For me, it is my old best friend. So he and I were friends from the time I was 4 till I was about 23. I got married at 22. And so the reason I said I got married at 22 is because it's actually relevant to the story. So what happened was about I think it was a month or two leading up to the wedding. My old best friend, he just basically told me that he doesn't think it was necessarily the wisest thing for me to marry my wife. And he called her
What?
all of these. Oh, hold on. He called her all of these names and XYZ and all of that shit. So I didn't tell her for a while, but I didn't know how to take it because like at one point, this man's opinion I highly respected because he was a friend from 4. So at this point, it would have been 22. So a very long time, nearly 20 years of friendship. And but throughout the course of time, as I was growing up, from about 18 to 22, we started drifting apart because I was always a follower. Always followed what he wanted to do. Never had my own opinions. Just did exactly what he wanted. But then as I got older, and actually when I met the wife before she was a wife and just a friend, that's kind of when I started changing. I decided to stand up for myself, become my own person, and be an individual instead of a follower. But yeah, then he would just sit there and text me telling me how he didn't think that it was a good idea and all of these things. Meanwhile, he's the one out there gallivanting, cheating on his girlfriend, and all of this fun shit. I just think he didn't want to see me transcend him and pass him in certain aspects of life. He was
Mhm.
always the one that was going to own his own place, own his own shop, do his own thing, own all of these cars, blah blah blah. Meanwhile, he's done none of those. None. And yeah, so I think if there's one thing that someone's done bad to me that I'll never forget, it was my old best friend at a time where I was so certain of something, tried to make me change paths just to feed his ego, I
Mhm.
guess.
Do you think that would have been a case? The reason he didn't want that to happen wasn't necessarily because he didn't think that she was right for you, or was it jealousy? Because
No,
he'd
it
lose
was
you.
Probably
jealousy,
jealousy.
100%.
Because he'd lose
Because
him, yeah. Or he.
well, it's not even that, okay? Mind you, now no relationship is perfect, and the wife and I have fought, obviously, and was on the receiving end of hearing my rants and shit. But it was never anything to the point where it was dire. It was always just petty bullshit, like your typical
It
little
wasn't
fights.
anything that would ever justify his
Just
feelings.
saying like, "Hey, you need to leave
Saying
her
that,
because of
yeah.
X, Y, and Z." So I genuinely believe it is to be it leading to stemming from jealousy. Sorry, just because there would have been no reason for that to be stated otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
That's shit. The one person that you would have sort of hoped to be like, yeah, no, fucking do it, in your corner is
And
not.
like literally, he was the reason me and the wife even got together. It was his girlfriend of the time who who ended up getting us dating. But yeah, then 4 years later, he's like, "Yeah, nah, you should just totally dump that bitch. She ain't worth it." Blah blah blah. I'm like,
No,
I don't
that's
know about you, but yeah,
Wow.
that's shit.
yeah. Yeah.
So, have you and this friend spoke since that?
Since that, yeah, a little bit, but in the last 3, 4 years, no, we've said no words to each other. The last time I seen him is when his mom died, and I went to her funeral, just because, like, yet again, from 4 till my mid-20s,
Mhm.
she was a big part of my life. And she was one of the people that actually would get me out of my house to avoid the beatings and shit like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I have much respect for his family, 100%, but him as a person, not so much.
Damn, that's shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What about you, Jack? Have you got anything on the good or negative side that sticks out to you? It's a
not
negative.
really.
Obviously, you don't have to say anything. Nothing positive.
No.
Damn.
Never is, bro.
Oh, dude.
Negative, yes, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'd rather not go into detail about
That's perfectly fine.
Cool.
I think
It's a bit. Yeah, I think it might be it's similar to. I think the one that you may be thinking of for
Mhm.
you.
But yeah, no,
Yeah,
it has
it is.
fucking shit that happened, Josh. What about do you have anything negative, Ali? If you are comfortable with poor, outing said information. If not, again, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah. I do have a next topic lined up if you don't want to talk or after you're done.
No, there is something that like comes to mind almost right away. I had at the end of high school, I had like 3 really, really close friends. Um, 2 of them were dating. And obviously the other one was single or whatever. We all I was gonna say we all graduated high school, but actually I was the only one that passed.
Hey.
Long story short, the one girl that was single, she was truly my best friend, and she could be bossy and sassy, but I didn't 100% see it because she was my best friend, and so I accepted kind of her rude behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm the easiest way to explain this is to explain it from my perspective, and then to explain it from Nick's perspective, my partner. So we were graduating here where I live, we were graduating high school in June. And in March, this girl, let's call her B, all of a sudden she decided that she was not going to finish high school, that she was going to move to another province to be with her online boyfriend. And the only thing about that was she had a boyfriend here. And
She's a
so
hoe.
I was very confused, and like I thought that her boyfriend here knew and that they were just kind of like a fling until she left. That was my understanding that she gave me. So she moved out of province at the end of March, I'm pretty sure it was. And I barely heard from her. But the guy, the boyfriend that she had here, we stayed a little bit connected. Because A, I thought he was hella cute, and B, he helped me get out of a toxic situation with another guy that wouldn't leave me alone. That's a whole other story that I won't go into.
I have a feeling we know who the cutie is.
Yeah, it's Nick.
Okay.
Dumpy.
So she left. Me and Nick kind of talked like barely, like once every month or 2 months over text, and that was it. But then at the middle of August, we started hanging out, and then at the end of August he asked me out, and then probably about a week after we started dating, he texted me. He was at work and he texted me and he said, "Guess who's in town?" And I'm like, "Who?" "Here's my friend that moved to another province." She showed up at his work with her boyfriend from Ontario and was like, "Hey, I'm back in town." And then, like, after everything, told him not to tell me because she was apparently going to surprise me. I messaged her and I'm like, "Hey, I heard you were in town." And she was like, "What? No, yada yada." Anyways, she blew her cover. She came over, we hung out, we caught up. Nick came over. And then probably about 2 weeks after that, like everything was fine. Nick was getting random text messages from her every now and then, just being like, "Hey, what's up?" Yada yada. But about 2 weeks after that, he got a text message from her saying something along the line, I can't remember because this was like 8, 9 years ago. It was something along the lines of, "I had a dream about you last night, and I think it's because I miss you."
Oh, shit, ho.
He is a hoe.
This is supposed to be my best friend that knows that I am dating Nick, because when we caught up, like reconnected 2 weeks prior, we were all sitting down and she was asking like how long we were dating and yada yada, and so like she knew 100% that we were dating, but then she has the
She got
You gotta
audacity as
fill
my
in on
best friend
all the details.
to send him this kind of text message. I'm like, "Fuck no, buddy. Nope, you're done. Goodbye."
Was
And it's
this
just like,
was this out like as in like he talked, she messaged him Friday June 10th, then fucking Monday May 7th, I had a dream about you. There's no like follow up to it.
It was just like a giant leap,
Like,
gap in
between-
the text messages.
so I'll lay it out on a timeline. August 31st, me and Nick started dating.
Mhm.
And it was like September 7th, let's say. Or August 31st. Yeah, September 7th, she showed up at his work. And why is my camera gone blurry? God damn.
Mine does it all the time. It's fine.
Just continue.
So, September 7th, so like literally a week later, she showed up at his work with her boyfriend from the other province. That day, September 7th, she came over in the evening to my house. it was her and her boyfriend and me and Nick, and we all sat down and like caught up, and she was asking how long we were dating, and we're like, about a week now, yada yada. And then 2 weeks later, like September 21st or something like that, she randomly sends him this text message.
Yeah, that's a bit. So
That's
she,
a
there's
bit
no way,
low-key.
there's no even like way about it where she could be like, I didn't know, like you did,
No,
bitch, like you
no.
were sat in my living room.
She was literally sat in my living room, and I told her.
He's just
She
a
knew
hoe.
100%. Plus,
She a slut.
she had her boyfriend from the other province. And she was sending my boyfriend this text message while she was literally asleep in bed with hers.
Yeah, that's an
I'm
insult
like-
to us
Trying to get
Ontario
Eiffel Tower.
boys. Us Ontario boys know how to sling some dick. Just saying that.
Yeah, no offense,
You're
but her
built like a
boyfriend was from
German shark.
Ontario, so.
All right, guys. Next topic.
That's
Yeah, so
Um,
that just
You're hung like
it
a hamster.
was a really hard pill to swallow because she was supposed to be my best friend, and I really thought we were going to be best friends for a long time. But then finally, hang on, there's more, Josh. I have a little bit more. I really thought that she was going to be like my best friend for forever. No matter like we were separated or anything. But then for her to go and do this to me, it kind of came to light. This is the way she's been with everybody else. I just didn't see it because she wasn't that way with me. Now, side story. The whole
DLC.
thing at the beginning where she
DLC.
told my understanding was that Nick knew that she had a boyfriend in Ontario and that they were just a fling. That was wrong. He had no idea. They had just started dating. And 3 weeks into their relationship, she asked for a ride to the airport because she was going to visit a friend, and she left and never came back.
Fucking hell.
She a hoe.
damn big ol' hole.
Well, Hank. I mean,
Yo.
That happened
That's
to Nick. I
fucked.
felt so bad.
that's fucked. The only thing that I could probably like begin to understand the train of thought on is when she messaged Nick that. Oh no, because they were together. Her and her other boyfriend were together. Okay, yeah, no, that's my theory gone then.
Yeah.
Want to hear something funny about it?
Yeah.
Karma bit her in the ass, and 8 months later,
She got
she
pregnant.
woke up to her boyfriend gone. He had gotten in a transport truck and went back to Ontario.
Hell yeah. And that
GG.
guy's Josh, dude. What up, dude?
What up?
Hell yeah, dude.
What
All right,
up?
that's my long ass story.
That's fucked up about how
That's
like
hilarious.
she
Nice.
knew that like you were together. I mean I wouldn't understand. I mean,
It
no,
just
fuck
really
it.
hurt. Like,
Yeah.
how can you do that to your best friend?
I'd understand if you didn't know that you were together, but she was literally in your living room,
Yeah,
dude.
but she literally knew we were together. And you know what? It doesn't even matter that she knew we were together. How can she do that when she has a boyfriend at that time?
True. Yeah, I don't
She
condone
trying to get
cheating.
Eiffel Tower,
These
cuz.
hoes ain't loyal.
For real. That's fucked. And is
Alright.
that is that like some...
Segues are hard. What famous person's death actually impacted y'all?
Oh, fuck, dude, I can list off a lot, man. I'm an empath, personally.
So,
like,
for me,
Bullshit.
there's only one that I can think of for sure. And that's Chester Bennington, lead singer
Yeah.
of Linkin Park.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Fuck
Now,
fuck the rest.
quite. Now, this is a
Fuck
thing
shit.
that is said hundreds and if not thousands of times, but like legitimately, Linkin Park saved my life in many aspects of things. It was reassuring when you're listening, especially back in my older shit. It was reassuring listening to the lyrics, and if you actually just listen to them, opposed to just listening to the song for it being a song, if you listen to the lyrics and read between the lines and figure out what is being talked about, it was reassuring knowing that there's someone else out there that was also a victim of certain aspects of abuse, whether it was physical, mental, or sexual. Because when you're an abuse victim, you don't talk about it, right? So no, everybody, like thousands and thousands, millions, billions of people are abuse victims, but it's really hard to figure out who it is because nobody wants to talk about it, right? They want to bottle it up, keep it inside them. They're like, no, this is my thing. I need to deal with it and figure it out myself. Why should I bring this person down? They don't need to hear about this shit. I don't need them worrying about me when I'm already worrying about me. So listening to their music growing up, um, it helped me so much. Just knowing that, wow, there actually is someone who's been through not necessarily the same things that I have, but similar enough. So he understands the kind of pain that I am feeling. And that was super reassuring as being someone that's so young and vulnerable and honestly was thinking about ending it all and just saying, fuck it, let's start this shit over. Clearly, I lost the die roll here. Just mulligan and do it over again, you know? But that death specifically impacted me heavily.
I could name. Sorry, if you weren't done. Sorry, I apologize.
No, I'm done.
I could name. I like as Ali disagrees, but I really am. I don't know if you disagree. I think it's just a joke.
It was just a joke,
I
my guy.
genuinely am like an empath for people. Like I feel everything they feel. I could name about 5, but there is 2. There's 3 including Chester's, where like I was literally when I found out I was like I don't know what to do, like in shock. The other one, I mean, admittedly, dependent on what side of the fence you sit on this particular topic, was Michael Jackson's. My house growing up is a very musical household. Like every single day there's the soulful R&B, Jackson 5, Michael Jackson, Usher, Neo playing all the time, right? And it was one of those deaths where like I can literally remember where I was, what I was doing. And I can remember them for 2 of them. Michael Jackson's, I had just woken up for school and my mum came in the room and said, "Turn your TV on." And I was like, "Oh, okay, maybe I'm not going to school, fuck yeah, dude, maybe school's closed." No, and then it comes saying Michael Jackson's died, and then I remember going to school and like I was at school. I was at the same school I was going to when Michael Jackson died, when Nelson Mandela died. And out of the 2, what we had a lesson on for the whole day and a memorial thing sort of was Michael Jackson, not Nelson Mandela.
Really?
Literally. So like everyone at school was just like, "Dude, have you heard like Michael Jackson died?" Because I don't care. Michael Jackson is, and I think will ever be, the most famous person in the entirety of the world. Right? You knew who he was. Let's be honest. There's no other way around it.
If at the very least you don't know who he is, you know his music.
100%. And it was like that, and dude, I told you, man, I'd go home and naturally the music would be playing. I'd just be like upset. And the other one, which is like which is most recent, and it really affected me, was a rapper called XXXTentacion.
Mhm.
And dude, that fucks me up. I can remember my whole day when I found out that happened. I was off school. I left high school, and it was the start of the World Cup, and England were playing. England were playing the World Cup, and I watched the England game. We won, and I was so happy. And then I left my phone upstairs because I went down to a pub with my family to watch it. And I come home, and then I realised I left my phone on the thing, and my phone was just filled with like Twitter accounts that I followed, obviously because of him, right? And it was like unconfirmed reports that, I remember the headline, dude. The first time, unconfirmed reports state the popular Floridian rapper XXXTentacion has been shot dead out of a motorcycle dealership, and it was from a source where I was like, sure, fuck off,
Yeah.
So then I went on Twitter. I don't know if you still can do it now, because obviously I don't obsess that much anymore. I typed in his name and I clicked on tweets, and I was refreshing, And then I saw the TMZ notification that says rapper Assassination seriously hurt in shooting outside Floridian motor dealership. And I was like, fuck, dude, so he's alive. And I tell you one thing which will ever stick with me forever. The next refresh of the page, I don't know if you guys have seen it. If you have seen it, and I'm very sorry, but I saw the video of him in the car and him bleeding to death, and no one was helping him.
They would rather film it.
And I was like,
he was in an Audi or a Lambo.
it was a BMW i8.
Yeah, that's it.
And he was sat there, and dude, no one was helping. Everyone was recording him. No one was helping. And I saw that, and I was like, instantly, it was sort of like, I think he's dead. And then
I'm sorry to interrupt.
That's
but
all right.
When I seen that video, that I instantly, I'm like, I lost all faith in humanity.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you fucking serious? A man is bleeding out inside of his vehicle. You can see the bullet wounds, but y'all just rather videotape it than call 911? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Exactly. And then I remember seeing that, and instantly I was like, well, nothing's been confirmed from a reputable news source except for TMZ, but TMZ, you take it with a pinch of salt. I remember TMZ telling us that Justin Bieber was, I'm not going to get into it. But yeah, that come from that. When I saw the video, I was like, dude, there's no way he's seriously hurt. That man's dead, And then I refreshed my page, and then it was like CNN reports from our Floridian outcasters that have confirmed that Josiah Dwayne Onfroyo ex-Assassination has died. And I was like, dude, like, I remember going, it's going to sound really, really stupid, right? But I remember that night I was scared to go to sleep. It sound really bad.
Stupid. No.
I was like I was petrified to go to sleep because like I did that, like, it's not even a case of like
goes through a lot of different things when like, well, not even like when you hear about stuff like that, but bro, you saw the video.
Yeah.
Even that alone can.
Well, the other thing is, right, is like if you fall asleep, it happened, right? Because there'll always be that voice in the back of your mind, dude, I'm just sleeping. It is what it is. The second the second you fall asleep, all right, this was actual real life. This wasn't some fucking weird, sick, fucked up dream I had.
Yeah.
And also, if you're as strong as an empath as you think you are, you almost feel guilty for going to sleep because this person just fucking died, and some people are having a horrible horrible time with it or whatever, and you're laying in bed going to sleep, and so you almost feel guilty about it.
I think the main thing for me is it's a very strong possibility that his family found out the same way that I did.
Oh, 100%.
There's a very strong.
Well, look at Kobe Bryant.
That's another one, dude. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was.
Yep.
There's a very.
Oh my god.
There's a very.
I remember that happening.
There's a very strong possibility that his family was.
Pretty sure we all knew about Kobe Bryant before his wife did.
Their phone was blowing up, and then there's a very strong possibility that his mother probably saw the video. If we're being honest,
100%.
And for her to see that, I just remember seeing that, and then after like that moment, I was going on like all of his like friends' lives, which is Ski Mask, the Slump God, and he was like telling people like he's been dead. Everyone was like, no, he hasn't. Like, shut up, dude. And it was a case because like whatever you think about him, right? I believe he was okay. I've watched a documentary on it now that came out after this.
I watched it too.
And he was on trial for domestic abuse allegations, right? Whether that's true or not, it's a whole different other story. You could genuinely, I don't think this would be because I was a fan of his music. You looked at him and you genuinely knew that he was turning stuff around. He made friends with the person that he, domestic abused, allegedly or allegedly, whatever side you fence you sit on that, and you could really, really see that he was trying everything in his power to become a better person, and for that to happen, like, dude, it's crazy, man. Like, it was mental to think that like he was. I still think if he would have been alive, he would have been like the next big thing because he could make any type of music realistically, and you'd enjoy it. And it was crazy, man. Because like as I said, that I haven't found out about a celebrity death like that before. It's always been like confirmed beforehand.
Yeah, right.
Not
and like
seeing the
since it
video.
was- yeah,
Like,
and since it was constantly updating, and the potential of maybe he is still alive.
Yeah.
Nobody really knows because the sources are so shady.
And
Like,
then I remember after it's quite funny now, but it wasn't at the time. After that, it was everyone was like, okay, well, I'd like to think as a human that you would help and not
Mhm.
record it. So people was like, oh, it's a publicity stunt. And then people were very quickly to be like, no, these motherfuckers that was around him at the time were shitty fucking human beings and didn't do nothing to help.
Yeah.
And I remember for weeks there was something constantly going on. I remember at one point the account I found out about the news on originally was like, it's been confirmed to be a hoax. He's gonna perform at Coachella and hop out of a coffin because he always talked about being rebirthed. And when he got out of jail the first time, that's how he wanted to announce he's out of jail still before it all got leaked. So me being cynical and obviously not wanting to accept the fact that he is gone, I was like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. And then his friend pulled out a Coachella ski mask he was supposed to perform with, and I was like, yeah.
This is legit.
And then after that, I'm waffling. Then after that, his management just was. I think it was genuinely about a month before they started shilling off stuff, profiting off his name. And
That's always the worst.
I know that's what he would want to do for his mum, and now I know at the time, right? At the time, I was like, dude, he's not even fucking cold. He's not even buried yet, and you're out here releasing a new album and all of that. I feel the exact same way I feel about Juice WRLD stuff now. Like, dude, come on, man. Lil Peep stuff. Like, I'm so glad that they didn't do that stuff with Chester Bennington.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the one saving thing that I didn't do that stuff for Chester.
There would be riots in the street.
And it'll forever be the same. Like, I'm genuinely scared for the next sort of like, because look, I hate to be in like, I'm very aware I'm waffling, by the way. I hate to be,
No, you're good,
I
dude.
hate to be in like one of their minds where like it's a conspiracy theory and stuff like this. But 2016, I remember everyone was dying. Prince,
Yeah.
everyone was dying, dude. And it like I'm constantly like, what if you have another? Who's gonna? I know it's bad to speculate, but like, who's gonna be the next?
Exactly.
Like we don't know shit, dude. But yeah, no, them two and Chester was. Yeah, dude, Chester was horrible. I got home from school and.
So can I tell you how I found out about Chester
Mhm.
real quick, and then we'll let these two talk.
Mm-hmm.
So I was working at a warehouse, a grocery store warehouse at the time. I worked 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. So when I got home from work, what I would do is I would stay up until 5 or 6 a.m., sleep until 2, get up and go to work. So on this day, I got off of work, was up till 5, went to bed, woke up, and I was getting ready to go to the gym because this was my day off. And as I'm getting ready to go to the gym, I got out of the shower and everything after waking up. Was drinking my protein shake, and I get a text message from my buddy Dalton. I look at it, and he's like, "Yo, did you hear?" I'm like, "No, what's going on? What up?" I'm like, "I'm just about to go pick up your brother and head to the gym. What's going on?" He's like, "Oh no." He's like, "James isn't going to the gym today." And I'm like, "Okay, what's going on?" He's like, "Chester died." And I'm like, "I don't know who you're talking about at this moment." So I'm like, "Who? Chester who?" Because James, my friend James, he has many cats, a bunch of different names. So I'm like, oh, maybe one of his cats died. I don't know all his fucking cats' names. I'm like, okay, that makes sense why he's not going to the gym. He's like, Chester Bennington. And like the name didn't click right away. So I'm like, I know this name. So I instantly get out of the text message and Google Chester Bennington. Sure enough, boom. TMZ report, and then I think it was CNN. Chester Bennington found hung or whatever in his house or whatever, and I'm like, lead singer of Linkin Park, and I'm like, my world just crumbled. I was like, fuck this. Didn't end up going to the gym. Just lied in bed all day, listening to the very first album all the way up until their most recent album, the one that just before he passed, No More Lights or something like that. One More Light. I listened to them all, and I just felt so sad. And then my current best friend Josh, he texted me, and he's like, "Hey man," he's like, "I'm assuming you heard, eh?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Let's go to the gym and then we'll go grab a coffee and just chill out." He's like, "It's gonna be a shit workout, but let's still get it and get going with it." And I'm like, "All right." But like that's how I found out about it. And I was like devastated. Almost like you with Tatassian. I was just like in disbelief for so long. And the thing that actually helped solidify it was listening from first to last album, because you got to hear all of the pain in him and like throughout his entirety of his career. And I'm like, as shitty as this is what he felt he needed. So you know what, I'm happy that he's happy, but man does it fucking suck.
Mm-hmm.
I am so destroyed because you saved my life and you took your own. It hurt me in a very deep level.
Mm-hmm.
But
Definitely.
yeah, sorry you two. You guys
No, it's
suck.
fine.
I just,
You
I
know,
just,
I did quickly dip.
Um,
Someone was at my door, and everyone else asleep. I don't know. I don't know. It's fucking some crackhead, bro.
I just want to add quickly to that. I don't think that, me personally, I don't think that any death will affect me as much as a musician's. Because you spend
No, yeah.
your
I think
whole
there's
day. Okay,
Mhm.
not obviously not including family, obviously.
No,
But
yeah.
like any famous person's death, I don't think will affect me because you spend your whole day more often listening to them, you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, sorry guys, go on.
I wasn't here
Jack,
for the
Um,
beginning. Remember?
Sometimes there's certain songs by certain people. It doesn't even have to be like a specific band you like or anything like that. Sometimes there's just a certain song that resonates with you so much that like
Yeah.
it literally feels like the song is you.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way to ever explain it. It's just you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Something just clicked.
And there's there there's been a couple of songs like that for me, and there's 3 bands, and one of them is not dead. But there's 3 bands that there's songs between the 3 of them that I just have like the utmost respect. One is Chester.
Yeah.
And with him, for me, listening to Josh, it almost like hurt. Like not that I feel like crying, but it just like hurts my fucking soul. Because if you listen to the One More Light album, it is a fucking cry for help
Mm-hmm.
in
Oh
every
yeah.
single song. And I don't want to say nobody heard it because everybody heard it, but it's just it was a fucking cry for help. And
It feels like not enough
I
was done.
like I'm listening to Heavy right now, and it's literally a cry for help, and it's just like this song resonates with me so well.
The opening
But like,
lyrics, fucking right off the rip. I don't like my mind right now.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
man,
you
God.
listen to this song, and it's literally a cry for help. And like, I agree with you, Josh, in saying that like this motherfucker saved some of our lives, but he took his own, and it's just like.
Mm.
Unfortunately, with mental health, no matter how much you help people, sometimes it'll never be enough. So sometimes it's
the
never
mind
enough. So
wants
there's
what it
Linkin
wants.
Park. Sad fucking topic. The other one
Alright.
is Avicii.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
I
mate.
don't know what it is with him. I think it's just, again, there's so many songs by Avicii that just resonate with me. That like I was thinking of getting an Avicii tattoo, and then like a month or two later he was dead.
I think
And it's just like, what the fuck? Like,
the thing is with
sorry, go
that
ahead.
is that I'm not going to sit here and say I listen to Avicii every single day of the week, but it was on my playlist, right? I think with that, and to be honest, we'll elaborate on Kobe in a minute, hopefully, if you get time. It was shock more than anything, because if you were to sit me in a room and very morbid conversation, who do you think's going to, it's bad to say, but who do you think's going to die in the music
No, I
industry?
know what you're trying to say.
You're like,
Yeah.
musicians
Like-
under
Hearing-
30. Who do you think's
like-
gonna die? Avicii
like
wouldn't be on that list.
No.
hearing that Chester died, it's
You
although
understood
it was
it.
like it was mind-boggling and broke your
I'm
world.
shocked. Yeah,
It wasn't
you
an
knew what happened.
absolute shocker in the
No.
sense that like
Out of
you could
nowhere.
have seen it
No,
coming.
yeah, you understood what happened.
It's
You knew that it was going. Not
It was
that it
Yeah.
was
Not
inevitable,
that you
but
knew. Yeah.
For me with that, sorry, it was literally a case of all I heard was that he's died, and instantly I was like suicide. Very unfortunate.
honestly.
Instantly I was like suicide.
Yeah.
You know? Sorry, Ali. Go on.
Yeah. But then with Avicii, it was like, how did he die? Like, what the heck happened? And
Yeah.
then the same as Chester, and everyone's like, holy. And then you listen back to some of his.
Avicii's was a drug overdose.
No.
He hung himself.
Actually, sorry. It may have been a drug overdose, but it was like an intended drug overdose.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
He killed him. Yeah.
Mhm.
I can't 100% remember. It's been several years now. But yeah.
Yours would be Avicii's, then if it's the standout, if it would be Avicii's, or have you got any other ones?
Avicii's
okay.
Chester, and there is one person that's actually an actor that's not an artist that is still to this day, like, I'm shocked and I almost don't believe that it's happened.
Mhm.
Bob Saget.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I grew
So-
up with Full House. My entire childhood, me and my sister. My sister was born in 1990, and so like it was really a big thing with her growing up. And I wanted to do everything that my sister did when I was a little girl. So I watched the crap out of this show. And it's just like I watched Fuller House because that's the newer one that came out and stuff
Spin-off,
like
yeah.
that. And it's just like watching all of that. It's almost impossible that he's dead. You know.
No, yeah.
Like it's not real. Like I don't even think I've still to this day accepted it.
So I have an actor that when he dies, I won't accept it, and I don't think I'll ever be able to. And it's Sylvester Stallone.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Just quickly,
Sorry.
Jack. What was that?
Jack.
You went, oh my god.
It was suicide.
Yeah.
But what I'm
Who,
reading here, he used a glass bottle.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
He used a glass bottle. He used a glass bottle shard to cut
Oh, my
himself.
God.
Basically.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Done.
That's what I'm reading here.
Jesus.
So
All right,
yours,
so
yours,
what's
yeah.
yours?
What would yours be?
Who, me?
yeah, you.
Honestly,
You gotta have
lot
somebody, bruh.
you lot have took them all.
Well, you can continue. You can elaborate on how it affected you and why it affected you.
Like I said, you lot have took them all, basically. You
No,
were
but I'm saying
you
you-
and Chester 100% the same.
No, yeah.
What was my needs? I don't think I was here for that.
XXS Tentacion. a rapper.
Same.
And then Avicii.
And then
Avicii as
Avicii,
well.
same thing. I felt the exact same feelings
I think
of
Alright,
it came out of
let's,
nowhere.
I
You didn't expect it at all.
just
Let's-
quickly,
Yeah, let's go to the Kobe
just to
topic.
continue. I think that the most shocking one,
Was Kobe?
bruv, it's crazy because we was in lockdown when that
Yeah.
happened.
Well, you guys
So
were. We
y-
weren't
I
yet.
can't. Yeah, no, I can't really speak for wider, but we were. So realistically, the only thing that you'd hear would
Not
be
yet.
like, "Oh, COVID deaths have gone up." Just depressing shit, you know. Go on, Jack. Sorry.
I just remembered one.
What?
Robin Williams.
Oh, dude.
Oh yes.
Robin fucking Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Again,
So-
that's another one that shocked me as well, as
Yeah,
well as
100%.
Kobe, because
oh my god, and Chadwick Boseman,
yeah, it is. That's
Black Panther. Fucking hell, man.
The
But
thing,
no, yeah,
the
so
thing that
when-
upset me most, the thing that upset me most
Yeah.
about the Chadwick Boseman one is that man had pictures of paparazzi papped by him when he was going to chemotherapy and leaving, and the comments on the air from was fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
That man got hounded. They were calling him Crack Panther, shit like this, and the Black Panther serum's run out. Bruv, no. That was hot. For that to be the
that
only
was like
thing.
so rapid.
He
too,
had it for
wasn't
he had it for ages. He filmed the Black Panther and Avengers with bowel cancer.
Yeah.
Like, and people, he didn't tell no one.
He had it for 4 years.
People didn't tell no one.
Bowel cancer.
He didn't tell. He didn't.
It
tell
was
a
bowel
single
cancer,
person.
right? I think. Was it bowel
That's
Yes.
what
cancer?
my mother-in-law passed too.
Like,
It's shit.
Oh no, colon
cancer.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
And people were just like hounding him, dude. It's like for him that to be the last things that he would have saw, knowing that he has that.
And knowing it was inevitable, how
Yeah.
the outcome of it. Yeah.
But
That's disgusting.
We're talking about shocks. The one that genuinely shocks me the most, where I was like, "What?" was Kobe's.
Mine
Yeah.
too. I was at work when it happened. So after I left the grocery warehouse, I was working at a carpet paint warehouse. And we were like super into sports. So on breaks and shit like that, we'd watch the World Juniors hockey go on and shit like that. The one thing I remember vividly is I was in the middle of picking an order, and one of the bigger guys, the older guys there, Rui, he comes over to me and he's like, "Oh my god, did you hear?" And I'm like, "No, what's going on?" Mind you, I'm not into basketball at all. I respect some of the players like Kobe and Jordan. Jordan is one of my favorite athletes of all time. But when he's like, "Kobe died," and I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Nah, bro, you're full of shit." He's like, "Nah, apparently he like crashed his helicopter or something." And like as soon I pull out my phone because like you're not allowed phone on the floor. I pull out my phone and it's just my phone is blowing up.
Yeah.
Twitter, Discord notifications, text messages, Facebook, everything. It's all about Kobe. I'm like, holy fuck, this shit's legit.
I don't want to go into it again, but there's
Oh, I just thought of so many.
there's someone. Obviously, we can't keep on the conversation forever.
No.
There's someone's Ring doorbell that recorded the helicopter going down.
Is there?
Yeah.
Really?
You can't see the helicopter, but you can see
Wasn't
the
it like
smoke.
Jeffree Star or some shit?
I don't know. I
Probably.
can't remember. But you could see the smoke, and like, bro, like if you were to sit here and ask me again, it's very bad. If you were to sit here and ask me how do you think Kobe Bryant would die, I would probably say freak basketball accident. The man got knocked out and didn't recover. Helicopter, dude. Like again, it's very morbid. Don't wish death on no one. Crazy.
The worst part is, didn't his daughter die also?
His daughter
Yeah.
did. Yeah, his daughter was
His
in there.
youngest.
So
think
it's
his youngest one.
that's two integral family members, in one. That must be horrible.
Gone
Yeah.
like that. Let's move to a little more of a happier subject. I've got to step
Okay.
away, so
I did
will
just think one
propose.
more, but
I will propose the question, and then I got to step away for a minute.
Yeah.
Y'all have heard of comfort foods, right?
Yeah.
All right. Now,
Yes.
what's your comfort
Me and Benny
video
have.
game?
Comment video
What's-
game.
Video game.
Definitely not
I thought you were
Destiny.
gonna go to comfort foods, and I'm like,
Definitely not.
So I'll be right
Definitely
back.
not
Destiny.
Destiny,
Give me a
bruv.
moment.
Fucking hell. Comfort video.
By the way, oh no,
I,
don't.
I can sit here and list off a few.
Destiny 2, Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley.
Oh, yes. Destiny 2 is not my
Destiny 2,
comfort
that-
game.
that
but
is-
that's
no,
fair
that's-
enough. That's fair
My
enough.
comfort game.
That's
Fair
not my
enough.
comfort game. That's my fucking hell.
I could sit here and
Destiny's
label
my life.
a lot of them, but I think the main.
Comfort game.
The main one that I play and I feel like really, really happy about, I can't play it all the time, is probably like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And
that's fair.
And then there's a good game on PlayStation which doesn't get the recognition it deserves at all, which is Kenner Bridge of Spirits.
It's a good game.
Kenner
No,
Bridge
you're
of
gonna say
Spirits.
FIFA, and I'm like, bro, are you serious?
FIFA's a good game.
FIFA is like Destiny, mate.
It,
It's my
it depends. But I think of all time, Last of Us.
How can that be a comfort game?
That's not a
It's-
comfort game.
No,
That's not, bro. That's emotional.
Y'all can't tell him what his
the
comfort game
Last
is.
of
Bro,
Us Part
when-
1 and 2 is.
When the game almost makes you cry, it's not a comfort game, bro.
No, because that's sometimes what you need when like you had a bad day at
No.
work and you go on play a game and you're just like,
My
someone bursts in the room while you're crying. You don't want to tell them about your bad day at work. Fucking Joel's spoilers. Joel's dead. That's why I'm fucking crying. It's fucking Joel.
my three favorite game series of all time, number 1 to number 3, is Horizon Zero Dawn, The Last of Us, and Destiny. The Last of Us cannot be a comfort game.
Yeah.
In certain aspects,
Yes.
it can. If there's a way that you can play without the zombies,
Yes.
like,
Without the
and
clickers.
just do the story,
I don't
yes.
think you guys understand what a comfort game is, all right?
I do understand what
no,
a comfort game is.
so,
A
like,
comfort
when
game
I'm-
is not
when I-
giving a shit.
No, when I'm saying a comfort game, I mean like a game that you can play from
Makes you feel
today-
happy.
makes you feel good at the very least. Whether it's
Right.
achievements
What's your
in the
favorite
game or
game?
anything like that. No, not necessarily. It's a game that you can go back to anytime
Oh.
without fail.
Oh, in that,
okay.
in
Oh,
that,
That's
in
like
that-
a
in that
comfort
range,
food.
right?
Think about it like a comfort food, right? Like you had a shitty day. You're like, all right, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna make some homemade mac and cheese and make myself feel good. It's something that you can always go back to, right?
Okay, mine would be
Um,
Horizon and Destiny.
So I have 3.
I've
I
got
have
one.
3.
I've just changed my mind. Now you've explained it to me.
So mine is Magic the
Actually,
Gathering.
wait.
Hmm.
I've been playing it for about 13 years. I can't not play the game. Even if I take breaks, even during those breaks, I'll still dabble here and there. Destiny is also one of them, Destiny 2 specifically. I can take very long breaks from it, but I'll always end up coming back. It's a game that the structure of the game itself is what brings me back, and what makes me feel good is the end game content and succeeding in it and shit like that. And then third and finally is Gen 1 Pokemon. I've been playing it since it originally released. I played about once a year through its entirety. It's a game that brings me back to a place that I felt safe and comfortable for a very brief window of time as a child, and it makes me feel good. It's the game that I'll always go back to, and that's why, to me, and me probably alone, Gen 1 is the best generation of Pokemon. It's one
Agreed.
that nostalgia. It's not just nostalgia based linked. It's also emotionally
Yeah, agreed.
based
100%
and
agreed.
everything. It's just a great game, as buggy and as fucky as it is. It's a
Don't
good
care.
game.
100% agreed.
Think
Granted, there are certain Pokemon and other gens that I would prefer over some of the ones that are in first gen, but that's just a.
mine's changed. Now you've explained it to me.
Oh fuck! Oh
Okay.
no, I just forgot it.
Elden Ring. I'm kidding. Probably it would. In that case, if there's a game you can continue going back to and you feel good, is probably Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, definitely. And then it's very
I got
close.
5.
Very closely is anything to do with Formula One. FIFA, I love it. I love football, but oh my god, there's nothing
It's the same fucking game every year.
infuriating.
Same game every year.
That, and I think like
And it's just infuriating because
Yeah.
it's buggy as fuck.
for anything to do with
mm.
Formula One is
Yeah.
just top tier for me personally. So I'm very excited for the new Formula One manager game, so you can actually manage stuff. But I digress. Go on, Jack.
I got 5.
Bloody hell. Okay.
All right.
CS:GO,
Borderlands 2.
Valorant.
No, they can fuck off. Well, CS:GO may be purely just because of the amount of hours I got in it.
Mm-hmm.
I've put that much time and effort into it. I kind of can't just give it up. Borderlands 2, 100%. I can go back to that any day, anytime, anywhere. I've gone back to it multiple times on maybe 4 different consoles.
Mm-hmm.
What did I say? Borderlands 2, Destiny, same thing. Black Ops 2 Zombies.
Oh, yeah.
That is just a comfort. I hear that load up sound of Black Ops 2 Zombies, and it
Fingers
sends
face
shivers down my spine. It's lovely. Like, I could literally sit there for an hour and just listen to the music.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's that little snippet of music just repeated, I could literally just listen to it for an hour. So what have I said? Borderlands 2, Destiny 2,
COD
Black
Zombies.
Ops 2. The fuck? Why are they all 2s? Witcher 3. Absolutely love that game. I've played that game. I've played and completed that game 7 times.
I'm gonna say something here, right?
I'm gonna slap you. I'm gonna slap you.
I haven't played the Witcher games.
I haven't either.
Okay.
Bro.
I tried to play The Witcher 3 and I couldn't.
The one thing that I will say is if the Witcher games is anything like the Netflix series,
No, it's not.
fuck that game off completely.
No, it's not. You don't, bro.
Because
Fuck the first 2 off.
the Netflix series.
I haven't played the first.
I
Actually,
have.
That's a lie.
I bear in mind
I
over
played the second one.
lockdown, I was very bored. I think season 2
The
came
first
out
season
most
wasn't
recent.
too bad.
It was the most turgid shite I've ever watched on TV. It was
First season wasn't
terrible.
horrible.
I sat through The Crown and enjoyed The Crown more than that.
Yeah.
I don't like the royal family either. To be
You know,
honest, but-
Witcher 3 is a very good game. I've played it 7 times. It takes about 45 hours to complete it as quick as possible.
Okay, no.
I have 100% completed that game. It took over 200 hours, but that's a
Fucking gamer, bro.
Fair enough.
bro. I've got over 6,000 hours on Counter Strike.
Let's go.
So what have I said? Witcher 3, but Destiny 2, Borderlands 2,
COD BO2 Zombies.
Call of Duty
Yeah.
Zombies. There was another one I had, but I forgot now.
All right. Al, what about you?
Oh, Pokemon.
I already said.
Oh, did you go? Okay.
The
I'm not
Horizon.
Yeah,
sure.
she said Destiny and
Oh, yeah,
Horizon,
that's right.
Horizon.
Horizon
no,
Last
alright.
Best Destiny.
So,
Star Wars Fallen Order
Yeah,
as well.
it's such a good game.
Such a good game.
so I don't know how long y'all want to go with this. So if
Fuck
you want,
it.
I've
I'll go
got a
forever.
Keep
couple-
going, mate.
I've got 1 to 2 topics left, and
Yeah.
then we can call it after that.
Yeah.
All right. So, what is the closest y'all have ever been to dying?
What?
The
that
closest
again?
you've ever been to dying. I have 2 instances. If you want me to go while
Same.
you all
I have
think,
2
I
instances.
can go. All right, Jack, you go, then I'll go, and then these 2 can tag in after.
Well, actually, no, I got 3. 3?
All right,
Yeah.
here, I'm gonna go. So
think
the
3.
first one that I can think of specifically was this ties a little segue back to the old best friend that I talked about initially.
Yeah.
He and I and his family, we would go to this racetrack here in Ontario. It's called Mossport Motorsport Speedway. It's a giant track. Okay. There was a Le Mans series, and we were there for the weekend. So this track is so big that you go there for the weekend and you camp at the track and you get to watch the cars go by every like 10 minutes or so, right? As they're completing their laps and shit. So like you're posted up at your campsite and you got a section of the track that you can see and you get to watch the cars go by. And then at the end of the day, you can go on the track, walk the track, do whatever you want, right? So me and my friend, we were rollerblading the track. And at one point, there's a pretty steep decline, like downhill. So as we're going down the hill, we notice immediately at the bottom of that hill is a fucking sharp ass turn. So I'm like rollerblading down the hill, preparing myself to fucking give her. So as I'm going, I'm like, okay, we've got like 30 seconds before the bottom of this hill, and I have to turn directly to the right. I'm like, okay. Then out of nowhere, my fucking left foot slips out from under me, and I fuck. Keep in mind, we're rollerblading. I have a shoe in each hand. Okay, my shoes so that way when I'm done, I take off the blades, throw my shoes back on, take my rollerblades back up to the campsite. My left foot shoots out from underneath me and goes completely up. My right foot then shoots out from underneath me. I don't know why. I don't know how. Still to this day, no debris on the track, just out of nowhere. Boom, then boom. Almost as if there was an invisible banana peel and Mario Kart, fucking Mario dropped it in Mario Kart. I am in the air, a solid 3 feet. Shoes get shot from my hand. I am landing on the back of my head. As I'm about to land, my shoe lands behind my fucking head, and my head smacks against the shoe instead of the concrete. We were 45 minutes away on foot from our campsite. This is 2 14-year-olds. I would have been fucking dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. Yeah. That's crazy.
And honestly, if it happened to anybody else and if I didn't have a witness, I wouldn't have believed it. I would not have believed anybody who told that story. I have a witness. It was the most fucked up thing that ever happened because like, yep, boop, the arms go, the feet go, the arms go, the shoes go in the air. Miraculously, the shoe lands directly behind my head cracks against the shoe. It was amazing. And then the second time, we had a really bad snowstorm. I had winter tires on, but that didn't matter. My car still slid, and I was literally like this far away from smashing into a plow truck driver that had the giant plow. So I had a plow on the front and then plows on the side to clear multiple lanes of a road. And I nearly smashed right the fuck into him. Head on, yeah.
I don't think I've ever been close to dying. Been close to losing a limb, though.
Yeah, me too.
I've smashed this finger under a weight in my school gym to the point where that's why I never go to gyms because of this.
Oh yeah.
All of it, literally. I was holding down a weight. You know the lumbar machines you pull down on, right?
Yeah.
So, I was at school, may I add. Okay, under the supervision of a PE supervisor, may I add. There was this piece of equipment that was, looking back, faulty, if I'm honest with you. Because, you know how you put the peg in, the weights? Mm-hmm. Okay, so this specific machine, you had to put your hand on the weight to push it down to put the peg in.
Oh, okay.
What I didn't know was that there was probably more of a quarter. I was holding down a quarter of this, right? So the majority of the weight was up there. I said, right, okay, I'm done. I've got my hand on it. Bang. My mate let go, right? All came down, smashing. I was in the process of taking my hand out. For some reason, this finger was there, right? Bang. It was to a point where with the weight from the bottom, I literally went, I could pull my finger completely out. Didn't even move up the weight to lift it. And it was here, just on top of my finger here. It went into bone fragmentation. So this finger here, this specific one, coincidentally, I'm not joking by the way, hurts so bad when it's cold. To the point where it is.
Nerve damage?
Oh yeah, it's excruciating. I have been anyway. I've pulled it out, and if it was total, it broke there. If it was anything from probably there and below, where if you feel now your knuckle bending's there, anything from there I would have lost my finger. Because anything from that point onward on a bone and nerves is irreparable. Mm-hmm. There's been times now where I can literally sit here. I don't know how to display it, but I don't feel nothing in it. There's been times where I'm cutting things and I've cut the tip of my finger and I didn't notice until I looked down. There's blood.
Yeah.
I've like
I'd
hit
say
it
while
off
your
stuff.
finger is still intact, either the nerves are damaged or the ligament is.
Because it went to bone fragmentation, so the bones literally, it didn't obviously, right, because weight, it didn't clean break. The bones like bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
And literally when it's cold, and even when it's not cold, it aches. But when it's cold, it is the most, excruciating pain ever. Nothing gets rid of it either. But that's the close
Fire
I've been
damage
to.
is the worst.
That's as close as I've been into a limb. Life, no, to be honest with you. I'm very lucky. Very lucky.
Jackie poop?
Yes.
How's
I split my head open on a concrete pole. I was about 8. I was climbing up a tree. The branch snapped. It was like the half of the tree was dead, I think. And see, I don't know if you have them, but Venny, you probably know. Do you know them? Do you remember? I mean, I don't think they're around anymore, but like you know them metal wire fences almost.
Oh God.
Family
Do you
Yeah.
remember them? Do you remember
Yeah.
them? Do you remember them concrete
Ones
poles?
with the solid concrete ones where it's
No,
not gradiented.
the stone ones. Yeah. So it was like a rectangular pole like that, and I've hit my head on the corner there. So it's like this. I've hit my head on this bit. I'm falling back and I've split it open. Yeah. And if I remember
Curiosity.
correctly,
Do you have a dent in your head from that?
No.
Because when I was a child, I had something similar happen to me. It happened right here. I was
Do I?
spinning around and I
don't think so.
cracked my head against a table and split my head open right here. I have a dent in my head from it.
I was gonna say,
Like a
I'm
permanent
just made
dent
of
that I've
steel.
always had.
Just made of steel. But no, I had to go to hospital, get stitches, and luckily it was a clean break. There wasn't any fragments anywhere. It was literally a fact of it just went like that. But they said that I was probably about 3 inches from it
Killing me?
hitting something bad,
Jesus.
I think head injuries are the most scariest thing ever.
and I had to be carried home. I couldn't walk.
Yeah, dude, I think head injuries are the most
Um,
scariest thing ever.
And one of my sister's mates that lived across the road from us carried me home. This is about probably 150 foot away from my house. She carried me home in her arms with her jacket. We had to throw her jacket away
Yeah, no doubt.
because it was white when they got me home.
And it was
It was
crimson.
red. It was red.
Jeez.
Yes, so that was fun. Other than that, I mean, yeah, I've nearly been hit by cars a lot of time.
Dude, yeah.
It's hit by a police officer.
I did actually get hit.
Bro.
I didn't get hit by a car. My bike got hit by the car.
Let's save that for next podcast. Remind me next podcast. I got to bring up the story about how I was hit by a police officer. I
Okay,
was in the right and a police officer hit me.
cool.
Okay. What about-
But yeah, I was on a bike and the car clipped my back wheel, and I went flying. Yeah, so that was fun.
What about you, Ali? Have you had any near-death experiences or anything which is... Well, to be honest, I could probably know about 12 of them that you've told me this past week, if I'm
I had
honest.
bone cancer when I was 2.
What, me?
Okay, Jack. What do you mean you had bone cancer when you was 2?
I did.
Damn.
What?
I didn't
That's
know that.
I didn't know that
Yeah.
either.
All right, Al, how'd you
Fucking
almost
hell.
die?
Probably whacking it off a fucking door or something.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yourself. And
I
tries to go to
had
sleep
a-
not long after.
Yeah.
Go on.
I can't even argue.
Because you know it's true.
I can't even argue. There's nothing in particular that I can really remember. Like, I've had injuries and stuff like that that have been
Oh, yeah.
questionable. Like, so I have really bad asthma. It's gotten way better as I've become an adult. Like, by the time I was 18,
I think
was
it does
pretty
with
much
most people, doesn't it? It gets
great.
better
Yeah.
as they grow up.
Yeah, it does. You normally
can
you
go
like grow
either
out of
way.
it essentially,
I
but it
grew
can go
into
either
it.
way. Yeah. But so with my asthma, when I was a kid, it was incredibly bad, and I would get constant chest infections. And when I was, I think I was 6 months old. My mom says I was an infant, so like roughly 6 months old, I think. I had a chest infection and they put me on penicillin. And I had an anaphylactic reaction.
Oh, you're
Nice.
allergic to penicillin?
Okay.
I'm allergic to
This is-
penicillin, and so like any amoxicillin, penicillin, amoxiclav, all that kind of shit, I'm allergic to.
This is totally off topic, right? But I've just seen it on my phone. No one cares. I'm very sure of it. But Drake is releasing his 7th studio album tonight at midnight.
Word, eh?
It's called Honestly Nevermind.
Yo, I'm downloading it.
So
That's
sorry about your
Oh.
near-death experience, but Drake is, the guy.
Drake
so.
is God.
I see where your priorities lie.
Yeah,
God's
bro. the
plan,
fuck?
baby. God's plan, you know?
But
Yeah.
okay, to flip it on the other shoe, have you ever been in a position where you've saved someone from
Yep.
dying? I can name one
I've-
straight away. My friend was about to cross the road with me. Didn't see the car going easily 90 miles an hour. If we'd have hit him, he'd have been dead. He would have went 15 postcodes down the road, mate. I'm telling you, he would have been fucked differently. Simply just went, nuh-uh. Hold my hand out, dude. He sets out into the road, and I would literally pulled him back, and it went shong, like it was prime Jensen Button in a fucking Mazda RX-5, mate. Phew! Would have been curtains for him.
So I've
Yeah.
never actually saved someone's life. I've attempted to save someone's life, but it didn't work.
Oh, I've had that as well.
So my I don't know what to call him. I'll call him grandfather for this sake. My grandmother's second husband. He was living so me and my wife lived in an apartment building. We had an apartment, and directly beside us was my grandmother and her husband in their own apartment. My grandfather had a heart attack and fell into his mini fridge, the one that's directly behind me right now that I have. He fell into that, and he was making these weird noises. My grandmother was pounding on the door, the wall that connects our apartments. So I come running over, and I'm like, "What the hell is going on?" That's normally she does that if she wants to have a coffee or whatever. So I come over, and I'm like, "What's going on?" But the pounding was like so rapid and loud and shit. So this wasn't a normal call. So I come running up. What the fuck's going on? He's like making some weird noises. He kind of just fainted. We don't know what's going on. I'm like, okay. I call 911. They start walking me through how to do CPR. So I'm doing it. Unfortunately, he didn't make it. He ended up passing. But I did make the attempt. So I do have that to go for. But like it was going to happen. And yeah, it is what it is. But I couldn't save him, but I at least made the attempt.
Mm-hmm. That
Yeah.
sucks, man. I've never been
I
in
did
that
one.
position. I don't know what I'd do if I was
In what position?
trying to save someone's life. Actually, I mean, I'm not like sticking hand out for mate when he's crossing road. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if he's, I've. No, actually, no, I haven't. I was gonna say I've seen passing in a car someone trying to save someone's life, but I've never actually been.
Their first person.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know what I'd do. To be honest,
It's
I'm not a very calm person.
normally I'm not either, but in that moment I was as calm as I could be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, mine was weird.
What's yours, Jackie Poo?
I saved someone from killing themselves.
That's a life
That's amazing.
saved. Yeah.
They tried jumping in front of a train. And I was like, "Bitch, you're not making me late." Uh, no, I'm joking. Weirdly though, how it turned out was weird because basically, I was in a rush to get to work, and in that rush to get to work, I forgot my earbud, which I normally never do because I hate going on public transport without earbuds because I want to fucking I don't want to hear people's life story. Fuck off.
Mhm.
Exactly.
And when there's kids and high school kids, I want to see how far I can punt them down the train. But especially on buses, I want to throw them out the door. But so I forgot my earbuds completely by accident. Didn't realize until I was at the bus stop. So I was like, "Fuck it, my bus is in like 5 minutes. I can't go back home and get them." So I just went to work with my earbuds. And in doing that, me not having my earbuds made me more aware of my surroundings, which then led me to see this guy about to jump in front of the train, and I managed to run and grab him before he jumped.
Amazing. You're a
Yeah.
hero.
Crazy.
That was last year, actually.
You're a hero, Jack. You should be
Yeah.
in papers. They should make stories about you. No
They
cap.
do.
Oh, okay.
They
Not
do.
good ones, but they do.
No.
Not good ones, but they do. Just don't look up on Twitter.
All right. What about you, Ali? If you're comfortable with divulging such facts.
I mean,
Well,
I probably
I've
saved
prevented-
one of my ex-boyfriends from killing himself. But there's nothing that comes to mind. I mean, I haven't done CPR on a human, but I do CPR on animals at least twice a day. So
I mean,
That's technically saving a life.
good. Yeah.
It's
a
we
life
never, we
saved.
never specified
No, we didn't.
whether it be human, animal, alien.
Wow.
I have
I wouldn't-
another.
No,
I don't
I
know.
don't-
Sometimes
don't know
chihuahuas
what-
look like aliens. So
Fuck, mate, they're fucking
Chihuahuas are
spawn
just
of
glorified
devil.
rats, bro.
I've got another
Mate,
topic.
They're a spawn of Satan.
I've got another topic that I've literally just thought about, and I think it's quite a nice, wholesome one to get away from the conversations that we've just been having back to back.
Mhm.
Who's your hero, guys? You look at someone and you
Define
go,
hero.
dude, I want to be exactly like you. You mean everything to me. I respect you so much.
I go first.
Go.
Jack, do you want to go first, mate? Josh,
My hero is Sylvester Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, so
interesting.
there's a reason behind it, okay? Sylvester Stallone is a man who came from literally nothing. He was homeless. The only thing he had on him was the jacket on his back and a dog. Got to the point where he ended up doing a little bit of adult filming so that way he could survive and live and eat and feed his dog. He only did like 1 or 2 videos. Hold on, wait.
Can you
what?
still find those online now?
I'll link them to you later.
Cheers, mate.
Anyway, it's not great. It's only 1 video he made, but it was literally enough to get himself some food and to feed his dog. It got to the point where he and the dog weren't eating. He felt horrible for the dog, so he ended up having to sell the dog while he was trying to sell the Rocky screenplay. He ended up selling the dog so that way he could eat and actually live. And the one thing that he was dead set on when he was trying to sell the Rocky screenplay was he played Rocky Balboa. He's like, this is based off of me. No one is going to get this character correct. I don't care what you pay me, but I need to play this role. And countless studios were just shutting him out. They're like, the script is fucking amazing, but you're a nobody. We're not going to be able to sell tickets since you're a nobody. We can't have you as. And he's like, nope, if you're not taking me and the script, then you're not getting the script. And he kept doing this studio to studio to studio till finally one studio said, fine, we will, but you're only making he made pennies on the first Rocky film. But he's like, fuck it, let's do this. I'm going to take this chance and believe in myself. And that's what he did. And now look at him. The man has transcended. He is one of, if not the biggest action movie stars of the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. The guy has transcended just being a figurehead. He has gone and done motivational speeches. He has helped Arnold Schwarzenegger with bodybuilding competitions. The man is incredible. And to know that he started, and his journey didn't even start until he was in his late 20s or 30s. Like, that's when this all started going down. So it kind of just shows you, like, even if you think, like, bro, I'm 28 years old on the college dropout, it doesn't fucking matter. Because there are so many cases of success, if not Sylvester Stallone being at the lowest of the lows, proving that you can still do things. You can still make yourself into somebody if you actually put in the work. That's why Sylvester Stallone will always be my hero. It's why I got the Rocky-inspired quote tattooed on my arm. It's why when he dies, that will also impact me much like Chester did. Self-made people are people that inspire me 110%.
That's cool. I'll go next. I have two, but I don't know if you would count them because they haven't been alive in my lifetime.
No, that's completely
Okay.
fine.
But
They don't need to be alive.
I've
I know exactly what you're gonna say.
I've got two of them. They're both racing
exactly-
drivers.
Yeah.
One of them's Ayrton
Senna.
Senna,
Yeah.
and one of them's Niki Lauda.
Yeah, Niki Lauda. Yeah.
The reason why them two inspire me is from Senna. He is probably the reason as to why Formula One is still a thing today. He is.
Imagine him in a modern day Formula One car.
He was from everything I've looked back at, right, and my granddad used to watch F1. He was the guy that if you were to sit him in a car that had no wheels, he would come first place because of his sheer determination.
Yeah.
It was
100%.
like the stuff of him being like I mean, to be honest, he started his career not even at the best of the teams, to be honest.
No, he was in the bottom
he
end of the table when
he
when first started.
literally took everything that the race driver should be into one. But the quotes that he has, there's a massive fucking moth in my room. He took the quotes that he's come out with, like there's something like the one that sticks out to me is, once you never take an opportunity as a racing driver, you should no longer be in the car. You don't even have to apply that to racing driving. You apply that to life, dude.
Exactly.
You're not willing to apply that in life. And I can't remember if it's him or Niki Lauda who said it. And it's still the very same case to me, which is why I'm a massive Scuderia Ferrari fanatic now, is if you sit down a kid, ask him to draw a fast race car, he'll paint the car red. Ferrari.
That was Niki Lauda.
There we go, yeah. He'll paint the car red. Yeah. And for Niki Lauda, for the stuff that he went through, he was no one. He couldn't get a drive, right? At all. He walked into it. I remember he took out a loan, a very hefty one, that if it didn't go well, he would have been fucked differently.
Oh, yeah.
And the ultimate betting on yourself.
He put it all on one thing. He said, I'm going to go to a team offering money. He went to Ferrari, which was the top dog in the world. His first test drive, not even a fully hired driver, his first test drive on a track, he literally had a list, everything that was wrong with a title-winning car, and he made him change it. Because he could sense everything. He said it's a miracle that you've got all these facilities, but the car's a bag of shit. And then
I see that the other day actually.
Yeah, they made a film about it. It's called Rush with him and James Hunt.
Yeah.
He had a crash where his face was completely burnt. His vision was obstructed, and he might never race again. Motherfucker came back and won a championship first season back after having his face burnt. The guy is a goat. There's no other way around it.
That is good status.
Both of them, and Ayrton Senna died doing what he loved. He died at F1. He died in F1. He crashed the car, and he died. And like for them, the crash on that is ridiculous.
Horrible.
The stuff for that, like for them two people to really be like. Because F1 wasn't even a noticeable thing back when Senna was there. No, if you wanted to race in F1, you was a bit like, all right, mate, you're a bit of a weirdo. But he made it something else, and he transpired it. Niki Lauda as well is just, well, what can I say about him, man? He's the reason why we have drivers nowadays like Hamilton and Fernando and everyone like that, because they
Hamilton at the moment, I don't know.
they just model themselves after him. It will never be replaced. For those who know F1, I'm not going to continue going on about it, but we will have a time where we will get another Lewis Hamilton, we will get another Fernando Alonso, we will never get another Ayrton Senna, another Lauda, another Michael Schumacher.
No, we'll never get another Michael Schumacher. Fucking.
But yeah, did you say your one, Jack? Your hero?
Weirdly, I don't really have one.
That's fair enough.
Oh yeah.
That's fair enough.
it takes a lot to be inspired by somebody like that, and for you to justify them as your hero. So you just very well couldn't have discovered them yet. It's very possible.
I guess.
What about you, Ellie?
Um, I don't really have like a hero. There are like 3 people I'm inspired by, but I don't think I found my hero yet.
No, yeah, same difference. Who are those 3?
Um, one's gonna be really stupid and you're gonna laugh at me.
No.
Demi Lovato.
Okay.
Why?
Why?
She's gone through a lot of fucking shit.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And she's still going through shit, and she just tries to persevere the best she can, and she's finally getting to the point where she's not letting
Shit affect her.
music companies
Yeah.
rule her. She's doing her own thing, and so I'm respecting her for putting out boundaries, you know.
No, for sure.
So Demi Lovato. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. Julia Roberts.
Not really familiar with who that is.
She's the woman
She's
from Pretty
like,
Woman, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Pretty Woman,
Pretty
Erin
Woman.
Brockovich, a ton of other ones. She's just a brilliant actor, and like, I don't know, she inspires me. She fascinates me. Like, she makes me feel like I can do acting. And do I want to go near acting? Heck no. You know what I mean? And Rosa Parks.
Yeah,
Yeah, fair.
Rosa Parks is definitely one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Jack, do you got anything? I think we're gonna.
Steve Irwin.
Oh,
Steve
Fuck,
Irwin.
dude.
I like that.
Steve Irwin.
Continue.
Well, actually, no, 2. Steve Irwin and Robin Williams.
Okay, yeah.
Robin Williams because
Oh, Robin Williams, like 500%.
yes, because
He's Robin Williams.
yeah, he loves what he did.
And he loved making people laugh.
He
That
loves
was
The
the
making
one
things
that
thing.
that
was
came
the
out of
thing.
that guy's mouth,
Yeah.
amazing.
Like no matter what he was going through, he would always try and make someone else laugh, which is great.
That
and
is one of the most inspiring things in and
yes,
of itself.
no
You
matter
could
what
be
you're going
at
through,
your lowest low, but fuck what you're feeling. Let's make these guys happy.
exactly. And to be honest, same thing as what he went through.
Yeah.
He was sort of the same thing as Rocky. He was fucking fucked in the beginning, basically. And now
I
look
think
at him.
Steve Irwin, what you said is really, really cool.
Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin was
I mean, he
fucking
died.
sick.
He died loving what he was doing.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the things. I think that's what everybody wishes, right? It's like,
And he had
if
no
I'm gonna
fear.
die, I want to die doing what I love.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He had
Like,
no
if you
fear
had
at
any
all.
way to pick it, you'll either pick sleeping or doing what you love.
Yeah.
Every day of the week.
Yeah.
And I think, like, Irwin is a perfect example.
No.
His daughter is literally him. Like,
Same with his son.
Same with his son.
like
His son looks exactly
oh my
like
gosh.
him too.
Yeah, but like not even I'm not talking about looks. I'm talking about personality and
Yeah.
aspects. Like
Same
No,
with his
yeah,
son.
son. Yeah.
the daughter is like twin.
Yeah, both of them are.
Mm.
But no, he died. He died doing what he loved.
That is
He had no
inspiring
fear.
in of itself.
At all. Virtually every bit of money he made went into making nature reserves and making habitat stuff for animals.
Yeah, so that was
And
like
his
one
main
of the really
thing
cool
was
things with him.
to help the animals keep their homes and habitats, and which then would obviously that keeps trees, so that helps the world.
Mm-hmm.
Every
that
cent
was-
he made went straight back into making animal reserves.
That's the one thing that I've always respected with him and his family, even now.
Yeah, even
Is,
now they're doing the same fucking thing.
It wasn't for the profit. It wasn't
No.
for the money. It wasn't for the fame. It
Nope.
was literally for the betterment of these animals, making
Yeah.
sure that 20 generations from now, these
They're still
animals
here.
are still around, so
Yeah.
that way we can still experience them.
Exactly.
Like it's he is like the manifestation of pure goodness. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because it was so selfless. All
A
of his
lot of people
acts.
slewed him for shit over the years, but fuck off.
No, 100%. When you're
Like-
willing to just be like, fuck a paycheck, let's work on these conservation, like these
Nature reserve.
Conservation.
nature reserves
Nature
and
conservation.
conservation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
Like-
yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah, there's mine. Robin Williams and Steve Irwin. I think.
Very good.
I don't think there's anyone else.
Should we wrap this up? I think
Actually, no,
gotta
Jack
start
Black,
getting
just 'cause
ready
I love
for
him.
work soon.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Well, most definitely, we got quite
This
a
was
few.
great.
I
Yeah, it
thoroughly
was.
enjoyed myself, guys. Really
So
did.
did I.
That's a lie.
We've got a bunch of stuff we talk about in the next episode, of course. But this
Yeah.
was
Mhm.
episode 1 of the group chat. You can see it's just fancy writing above there. I don't know really. We're still figuring out the logistics of it, but we'll definitely be back 100%. I think we unanimously enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But fuck it. As I said, it's being published on an old channel, but new direction and new
content.
people, new content, and yeah.
Nice Bible shot.
So got a new special guest there. You see. So just the generic YouTube stuff, really, which I hate. Just, if you like the video, leave it a like. If you want to comment, suggestions for next episode, or just tell us how bad or good we did, do it.
Yeah.
If you want to subscribe, go ahead and do so. If you didn't like the video, dislike it, and personally send me hate on Twitter. And I'll see you later in a bit.
Yeah, it was great.
Drop
Later,
a like for
guys.
Bulbasaur.
Most definitely. We'll sign off then. We'll see you on episode 2. Peace.
Deuces.